Most people think starting a business means renting a space, hiring staff, and burning through savings for years before seeing a dollar. But there's a different kind of business happening right now. Quietly, in garages, spare rooms, and small workshops. People are buying one machine, learning one skill, and turning raw materials into real income every single month. In this video, I'm going to show you 23 machines that are doing exactly that in 2026. Some cost less than $500. Some produce thousands of units per hour. And most of them, your neighbors have absolutely no idea they exist. Let's get into it. Number 1. Freeze dryer. Here's something that will change how you think about food. A bag of freeze-dried strawberries costs $12 at the store. The actual strawberries inside cost about 80 cents to produce. 5. That gap is where the money is. Freeze dryers remove moisture through a vacuum process that preserves color, shape, flavor, and nutrients completely. The result looks premium because it is premium. Home and small business units run $3,000 to $5,000. Larger commercial models go up to $15,000. The math is genuinely exciting. 1 pound of freeze-dried candy sells for $20 to $35. Freeze-dried meals for campers and preppers sell even higher. A single batch running overnight costs you maybe $4 in product and electricity. The finished goods sell for $40 to $80. What makes this powerful is the shelf life. Freeze-dried food lasts 25 years. Customers aren't just buying a snack. They're buying peace of mind. And that justifies a price no regular food product can touch. Farmers markets, online stores, prepper communities, and outdoor retailers are all hungry for this. You load the machine before bed. You wake up to product ready to package and sell. Number 2. Sublimation printer setup custom gifts are a $45 billion market globally, and it keeps growing. The sublimation printer is how small operators capture a massive piece of it without massive equipment. The process transfers ink permanently into fabric or coated surfaces using heat. Mugs, t-shirts, tote bags, phone cases, mouse pads, tiles, puzzles. One setup covers all of it. A starter setup including printer, heat press, and supplies runs $600 to $500. That's it. 5. No screens, no chemicals, no minimum orders. A blank mug costs $2.50. A custom printed mug sells for $18.35. A custom puzzle costs $3 to make and sells for $25 to $45. The real engine here is repeat business. Someone orders a mug with their dog's face on it, then comes back for coasters, a t-shirt, a phone case. One customer, multiple orders, all from the same machine. Mother's Day, graduations, weddings, corporate gifting. The demand calendar never goes quiet. Number 3. Candle making setup with fragrance blending candles are one of those products where the cost of materials and the selling prices exist in completely different worlds. A candle that costs $2.50 to make sells for $22 to $35 in any boutique, market, or online store. And people buy them without thinking twice. A serious small batch candle setup, proper pouring equipment, fragrance scales, molds, and a small wax melter runs $400 to $2,200. You don't need a factory. You need a clean table and a system. The edge in 2026 is personalization and story. Your candles have a scent that doesn't exist anywhere else. A local cedar and pine blend. A seasonal vanilla and cardamom. That uniqueness is worth $30 to a customer who's been burned by generic mass-produced candles their whole life. Subscription boxes, local boutiques, farmers markets, Etsy, Instagram. The distribution options are everywhere. And once someone loves a scent, they come back every time they run out. Number 4. Cold press oil extractor. Walk into any health food store and look at the oil section. 5. Walnut oil, avocado oil, hemp seed oil, black seed oil. These are $15 to $40 for a small bottle, and most of them are imported, sitting in a warehouse for months before they reach the shelf. A cold press oil extractor for home or small business use costs $500 to $3,000. It mechanically presses seeds, nuts, and kernels without heat, preserving nutrients and flavor that heat-processed oils destroy. Your cost per liter of walnut oil using bulk walnuts is roughly $400 to $6. 5. Retail price for fresh cold-pressed walnut oil is $25 to $40 per liter. The freshness angle alone beats anything on a grocery store shelf. Local restaurants pay premium for fresh artisan oils. Health food stores want local suppliers they can actually talk to. And online customers actively seek out small batch producers they can trust. Number 5. Laser engraver. This one has been around, but the 2026 version of this business looks nothing like it did 3 years ago. Entry-level desktop diode lasers now start at $300 to $600. Mid-range CO2 machines that can handle wood, leather, acrylic, glass, and stone run $800 to $2,500. What's changed is the market. Corporate gifting has exploded. Personalized home decor is massive. Wedding and event customization is now expected, not optional. 5. A plain cutting board costs $8. Laser engraved with a family name, a wedding date, a custom design, it sells for $45 to $75. Leather journal covers, custom wooden signs, engraved glassware, trophy plaques, personalized keepsakes. Each one takes minutes to produce. The real opportunity is B2B. One local business ordering 200 engraved pins for a conference will make your week. Land 2 or 3 corporate clients, and you're running a real operation from a single machine in your home. Number 6, resin casting setup. Resin is one of those materials that people cannot stop buying. Decorative trays, ocean wave wall art, river tables, jewelry, coasters, bookmarks, keychains. The aesthetic appeal is undeniable, and the market has not slowed down. A complete small business resin setup costs $300 to $800. Molds, resin, pigments, UV lamps, and a proper curing station. A set of 4 coasters costs $3 in materials and sells for $28 to $45. A decorative tray costs $6 to make and sells for $60 to $120 depending on size and finish. Unique resin pieces on Etsy and Instagram routinely go viral. One video of a pour gets thousands of saves. Those saves become sales. The creative freedom is part of the business model. No 2 pieces are identical. That uniqueness is what makes people willing to pay handmade prices. Number 7, automatic noodle and pasta machine. Fresh pasta and noodles have a cost-to-price gap that quietly shocks most people who look at it. 1 kilogram of fresh pasta costs under $1 in raw ingredients. Retail price for fresh pasta at a specialty market runs $800 to $15 per kilogram. Restaurants pay even more because they want daily supply without the labor. Commercial-grade home and small business pasta machines run fit $500 to $6,000. These produce multiple kilograms per hour with consistent thickness, shape, and texture. The customer list practically writes itself. Italian restaurants, ramen shops, local grocery stores, farmers markets, food subscription boxes. Fresh noodles are a consumable product. Once a restaurant switches to your supply, they order every week. That's recurring revenue from a single relationship. Number 8, soap making setup with cold process. The handmade soap market is not a trend. It's been growing consistently for 15 years and shows no sign of stopping. Consumers are reading ingredient labels now, and what they see in mass-produced soap is driving them straight to small batch makers. A full cold process soap operation, mixing equipment, molds, curing racks, oils, lye, and fragrances costs $300 to $1,000 to establish. 5. A single bar of soap costs $0, $80 to $1, $50 to make. It sells for $8 to $6 at markets, boutiques, or online. A gift set of 6 bars that costs $7 to produce sells for $55 to $80. The repeat purchase rate in this category is exceptional. Customers who find a soap they love never go back to the grocery store brand, and they tell their friends. Word of mouth is the most powerful marketing this product has, and it costs nothing. Number 9, microgreens growing setup. This one requires 0 machining background and almost no startup capital. A complete microgreens growing setup, trays, grow lights, seeds, and growing medium costs $200 to $600. Microgreens are tiny vegetable shoots harvested 7 to 14 days after germination. 5. Sunflower pea shoots, radish, broccoli, and amaranth. Restaurants pay $25 to $50 per pound for these because they can't grow them reliably themselves and they need consistent weekly supply. The economics are extraordinary. Seeds for 1 tray of sunflower microgreens cost about $80. The finished harvest sells for $20 to $35 per tray. The turnaround is under 2 weeks. With 30 trays running in rotation, you're harvesting daily. Local restaurants, juice bars, farmers markets, and meal kit companies all want a local supplier they can depend on. Once you have 3 to 5 restaurant accounts, you have a real business. 5. Number 10. Heat transfer vinyl cutter, HTV setup. Custom apparel is a market that does not shrink. And while DTF printing gets the attention, vinyl cutting remains one of the fastest, most affordable ways to produce premium custom garments. A quality vinyl cutter with heat press runs $600 to $1,500. The learning curve is genuinely short. Most people are producing clean sellable product within 2 days. The profit per unit is sharp. A custom hoodie costs $12 in product and vinyl. It sells for $35 to $55. A custom sports jersey, a family reunion shirt, an event staff uniform. These orders come in batches, not singles. When a school orders 60 jerseys, that's an afternoon of work and several $100s of margin. The small batch advantage is massive here. Online print companies require minimums and take 2 weeks. You can deliver 12 shirts tomorrow. That speed commands a premium and builds loyalty. Number 11, beeswax wrap production setup plastic wrap is being regulated out of existence in market after market around the world. Beeswax wraps are the direct replacement, and production is surprisingly simple with the right equipment. A small production setup, a fabric cutter, an iron or specialized wax application table, and sourcing for organic cotton and beeswax costs $400 to $200. A single beeswax wrap costs $60 to $1, $20 to produce. A set of 3 sells for $18 to $28. Grocery stores, zero-waste shops, eco-friendly subscription boxes, and farmers market customers are all buying these. Restaurants switching to sustainable packaging are ordering wholesale. The story behind this product sells itself. Every customer feels good about the purchase. That emotional connection drives repeat sales and referrals. Number 12. Grain mill and specialty flour operation Heritage Grains are having a moment. Einkorn, spelt, teff, buckwheat, red fife wheat. These are grains that specialty bakers, health-conscious consumers, and restaurants are actively searching for, often unable to find locally. A quality stone or burr grain mill for small business use costs $400 to $2,500. Whole grain einkorn wheat costs about $1, $20 per pound in bulk. Freshly milled einkorn flour sells for $6 to $12 per pound at specialty markets. The freshness matters because pre-milled flour loses nutrients and flavor within weeks. Your fresh milled flour is genuinely superior. Partner with local bakeries. Sell at farmers markets. Build an online subscription for regular bakers who want freshly milled flour delivered monthly. This is a niche product with almost no local competition in most cities. Number 13, chocolate tempering and molding setup. Artisan chocolate is one of the highest margin food products that can be made at small scale. The equipment barrier is low, the skill ceiling is learnable, and the customer appetite is enormous. A professional tempering machine, molds, packaging equipment, and initial supplies run $800 to $3,000. A bar of quality chocolate costs $50 to $2, $50 to produce. It sells for $8 to $16 at boutiques, markets, or online. A gift box of assorted truffles that costs $6 to produce sells for $35 to $55. Valentine's Day, Christmas, corporate gifting, wedding favors. The occasions that require quality chocolate are endless, and the local handmade producer always beats the imported box on both freshness and story. Number 14, kombucha brewing setup. The functional beverage market is exploding. Kombucha, kefir, Jun, water kefir. Consumers are paying $5 to $8 per bottle for probiotic drinks that cost $40 to $0, $80 to produce at small scale. A serious small commercial brewing setup, including fermentation vessels, bottling equipment, pH testing, and SCALB maintenance, runs $1,500 to $4,000. Local health food stores, gyms, juice bars, restaurants, and farmers markets all carry kombucha. The brand loyalty in this category is fierce. Once a customer finds a flavor they love from a local brewer, they come back every week. Flavors you can offer that no mass producer touches are your competitive edge. Turmeric ginger, local berry blends, seasonal ingredients. You're not competing with GTs on price. You're competing on freshness, story, and flavor. And you win on all three. Number 15, propolis and honey value-added processing. Raw honey from the supermarket is a commodity, but infused, creamed, or varietal honey from a local producer with a story attached is something entirely different. A small honey processing and packaging setup, including a creaming machine, warming cabinet, filling equipment, and labeling tools, runs $600 to $2,500. Plain wildflower honey sells for $6 per pound wholesale. Creamed honey sells for $14 to $22 per pound. Infused honey, hot pepper, truffle, lavender sells for $18 to $30 per small jar. You don't need to keep bees. Partner with a local beekeeper. Buy bulk raw honey. Add the processing and branding, and sell at double to triple the price they're getting. Farmers markets, boutique grocery stores, and gift shops are the immediate channels. Number 16. Small batch hot sauce. Production hot sauce is the fastest growing condiment category in the world. Americans alone spend over $1 billion on it annually. And the craft side of that market is where margins live. A small batch production setup with a commercial blender, pasteurizer, filling machine, and capping equipment runs $1,500 to $4,000. A 5-ounce bottle of Kraft hot sauce costs zero, 90 to $1, 40 to produce. It sells for $8 to $15 at retail. Restaurants and specialty food stores pay wholesale rates but order consistently. Your edge is flavor. Mass-produced hot sauce has to appeal to everyone. Yours can appeal to a very specific person with a very specific taste. Mango habanero, smoked chipotle, ghost pepper with lime. Find your lane and own it. Local grocery stores often have local vendor programs. Farmers markets will move product fast. And once your sauce is in someone's kitchen, it gets recommended to everyone who visits. Number 17. Wax melt and room fragrance. Production wax melts have grown faster than candles in recent years because they're cheaper to make, cheaper to ship, and customers go through them faster. That last point is crucial. A product customers consume quickly means repeat purchases without any extra marketing effort. A full wax melt production setup runs $200 to $600. The startup cost is among the lowest on this list. A single wax melt clamshell costs zero, 60 to produce. It sells for $5 to $8. A variety pack of 6 sells for $22 to $30. The margins here are exceptional at any volume. Room sprays, car fresheners, and reed diffusers made from the same fragrance blends. Extend your product line without adding significant equipment. One scent brand, multiple products, one customer buying all of them. Number 18. Dehydrated mushroom and fungi products. Dried mushrooms are a $4 billion global market, and the specialty end of it is almost entirely underserved locally. Shiitake, oyster, lion's mane, porcini, and chanterelle. Restaurants pay extraordinary prices for quality dried mushrooms because the supply chain from overseas is unreliable and the quality varies wildly. A commercial food dehydrator capable of handling serious mushroom production costs $300 to $1,500. Fresh oyster mushrooms bought or grown in bulk cost $200 to $3 per pound. Dried oyster mushrooms sell for $22 to $40 per pound because drying reduces weight by about 90%. You're selling concentrated product. Add lion's mane, which is currently one of the most sought-after functional mushrooms in the wellness space. And you have premium products at premium prices with almost zero local competition in most markets. Number 19. Fiber optic lighting assembly. This one is different from everything else on this list, and that's exactly why it's here. Custom fiber optic lighting systems for ceilings, star panels, sensory rooms, home theaters, and pool installations are in massive demand. And the local supply is almost non-existent. A professional assembly and installation setup for fiber optic lighting. The illuminator, fiber cables, drilling equipment, and installation tools runs $2,000 to $5,000. A single-star ceiling installation for a home theater averages $800 to $3,500 depending on size. A sensory room for a child's bedroom runs $600 to $2,000. Pool lighting installations start at $200. The labor component is high and so is the margin. Materials for a medium-sized ceiling installation cost $200 to $400. You're charging $5,200 to $2,500. There are virtually no local competitors in most cities, which means when someone searches for this service, you're the only option. Number 20. Hydro dipping setup. Hydro dipping, also called water transfer printing, applies intricate patterns onto three-dimensional objects. Carbon fiber, camouflage, wood grain, marble, and completely custom graphics can be applied to helmets, automotive parts, firearms components, guitar bodies, shoes, tumblers, and almost anything else. A complete small business hydro dipping setup runs $1,500 to $4,000. Dipping a single helmet costs $800 to $15 in materials and takes about 20 minutes. Customers pay $80 to $200. Automotive interior parts go for $150 to $500 per piece, depending on complexity. Custom sneaker projects regularly bring $200 to $400. The custom vehicle and motorsports community are the biggest buyers. Once you're known in that community, Referrals do all the marketing for you. Number 21. Bookbinding and restoration setup. The market for handmade journals, custom notebooks, and book restoration is larger and more profitable than most people assume. Independent bookstores, stationery shops, and online platforms like Etsy are all hungry for quality handmade books. A professional bookbinding setup, bone folders, awls, a book press, adhesives, and binding materials costs $400 to $1,500. A handmade leather journal costs $8 to $12 in materials. It sells for $45 to $85. A set of custom wedding books or personalized notebooks for a corporate client sells for $30 to $60 each on bulk orders. Book restoration is a separate revenue stream entirely. A damaged antique book brought back to display quality can earn $100 to $400 per piece. Libraries, collectors, and antique dealers will find you once they know you exist. Number 22. Small batch fermented food production kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, miso, fermented hot sauce. The artisan fermented foods market has grown more than 30% in 3 years and shows no sign of slowing. Health-conscious consumers are paying $12 to $18 for a jar of quality kimchi that costs $1.50 to produce. A proper small batch fermented food setup, crocks, airlocks, commercial refrigeration, vacuum packaging, and labeling equipment runs $800 to $2,500. The distribution pathways are excellent. Farmers markets sell out instantly. Local grocery stores with natural food sections actively seek local ferment producers. Subscription boxes and meal kit companies are always looking for authentic small batch partners. The production cycle is largely passive. You prepare the batch, pack it into crocks, and wait. The product literally makes itself. You're selling the knowledge of what to do and the equipment to do it right. Number 23. Custom trophy and award production. Every school, sports league, corporate event, and civic organization needs trophies and awards. And most of them hate dealing with distant suppliers who take 3 weeks, charge for shipping, and get the name spelled wrong. A small award production setup, combining a laser engraver, UV printer, and assembly station, runs $4,000 to $9,000 total. But each piece of that equipment independently earns revenue across other categories. A simple engraved acrylic award costs $4 to produce. It sells for $25 to $45. A custom resin trophy with laser engraving costs $8 to produce. It sells for $60 to $120. Corporate plaques, personalized retirement gifts, championship belts. The price ceiling in this category is extremely high because the emotional value to the buyer is enormous. Walk into every sports league coordinator, school athletics director, and HR manager in your city. One relationship with a local school system can generate $8,000 to $20,000 per year in repeat orders. The pattern across all 23 of these is the same. A machine that most people don't know about. A raw material that's cheap and accessible. A finished product that people are already buying somewhere else. The gap between those 2 points is where the business lives. You don't need all 23, you need one. Pick the one that matches something you already know or care about. Start there. 5. Build one customer, then another. The machine pays for itself, and then it starts paying you